ओम अज्ञानतिमिरन्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपा कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकं। वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरो श्रीयुतः पदकमलं श्रीगुरुन् वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातां सहगणा रघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधाकृष्णपादान् सहगणा ललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितंश्च। नमो ओं विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदांत स्वामी इति नामिने। नमस्ते सरस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्यदेशतारिणे वंचाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्येव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंदा। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्णा। So welcome all of you all for day 5 of the journey of self discovery course, the second last session. So yesterday we discussed this topic of one God or many gods. So in yesterday's topic, firstly we discussed why to put faith in scriptures. I'm audible right at the back? So first we discussed that ultimately if you have to understand something about God, something about the spiritual world, about Atma and all these things, we have to refer to the scriptures. Just like someone who's studying medicine or someone who's studying engineering, they refer to their standard books. So similarly, for us to understand about spirituality, one cannot just imagine something. One cannot say, I think God is this, I think God is this, right? It's not just like, someone going to a doctor who's not learnt in a proper school and he says that, I think this is your disease. Think doesn't work. You have to be sure. Are you sure this is it? So similarly, when it comes to the concept of God, I think you think it's good. It's good sentimental feelings we can have, but our knowledge should be more based on scriptures. Srila Prabhupada would often say, spirituality, there is a sentiment involved, there is an emotion involved, but also there is an education, there is a way you have to gain knowledge. It's just not about sentiment. You have to be educated in a proper way. So first is we have faith in scriptures, reasonable faith. So then we discuss this topic of that God is one. He has many names. He is known as Krishna, Ram, Allah, Jehovah, many names referring to his different qualities, different attributes like that. But God is one. We also discuss this topic of whether God is he personal or impersonal? Does he have a form or is he formless? What did we discuss in this? He has a form and he is formless also, both. Because if we say that he doesn't have one thing, that means there is something missing in him. And we also discussed this point that if we have a form, how can God who created us, how can we say that he doesn't have a form? Is it logical? The one who created us, he is formless and we have a form. So God also has a form, but his form is completely spiritual, Satchidananda Vigraha. So we discussed that both these aspects of God are there, but the impersonal feature, the energy feature is dependent on the personal feature. Just like we gave the example that light is formless, but light comes from a bulb which has a form. So then we discussed that these two definitions of God, the supreme source, supreme enjoyer, supreme controller, supreme proprietor, definition 1, and definition 2 is someone who has 6 opulences in full: strength, beauty, knowledge, fame, renunciation, like that. And we learned that through the scriptures emphatically mention that Krishna is that one person who fits perfectly into the definition of God. Because Krishna is the supreme source, supreme enjoyer, supreme proprietor, supreme controller. We quoted many, many verses from the scriptures, Gita, Brahma Samhita. And also Lord Krishna fits into the second definition of Bhagavan. He has 6 opulences in full. Strength, beauty, knowledge, renunciation. No one can beat Krishna. Hare Krishna. So this was our conclusion that Krishna is God. He fits into these 2 definitions. So the next question was, who are the other devatas that we know of? Indra, Chandra. We came to this conclusion that they are administrative heads of the universe. They are agents of God only. They are representatives of God. Someone who is qualified, someone who has that kind of devotion, that kind of punya, he gets the body of a devata. And then we saw certain difference between Krishna and the devatas, and difference between Krishna worship and the worship of the devatas. So this in essence was yesterday's session. Is it okay? So this was a recap for those who were there, and for those who are not there, it's like we try to summarize the whole thing in 5 minutes. So today we are getting into a very, very important topic. Why do bad things happen to good people? Whenever I hear this topic, there is some hidden message behind this. When you hear this topic, why do bad things happen to good people? What is the understood fact? What is the understood fact in this? Everyone thinks that they are good. There is no one, probably even the biggest don, he will also think that he is very, very good. So the question is, why do bad things happen to good people? We have this question, why? Because we all feel that we are very, very good, very nice people. How can something bad happen to us? So this itself has a separate discussion. We can discuss it separately. So today's topic is, why do bad things happen to good people? And the other way around, why do good things happen to bad people? That also worries us a lot. Some guy who's doing all nonsense, his life is perfect, and we are trying to do the best things, we are suffering badly. So what is this going on? Is there any logic in God's creation? Is there any system in place? We'll try to understand this. Whenever we go through some major setbacks in life, some disease or a major failure, a breakdown, whenever we go through a major setback, definitely at some point or the other, this question comes in everyone's mind. God, why me? Mere saath kyun? Has this ever come to you? It comes to everyone, especially when you go through major setbacks. Students sometimes, especially I can relate to my own example, being an engineering student. So sometimes, there are some papers that you have studied very well. You are like confident that you will clear it and you will do it very well. At the end, you realize that you have failed that exam. And a subject that you have not at all studied, you have easily passed through. I still remember when I was doing my engineering, there was one friend of mine. One day before the exam paper, he would call me and would ask me what the portion is. Tomorrow's the paper, this guy is calling me the previous night and asking me what the portion is. And interestingly, this guy never failed. I don't know how he did it. So sometimes you feel whether there is some system in place, or is things going on just by chance, haphazardly. There are different philosophies of seeing life. One philosophy is called the philosophy of theism. We understand atheism. Atheism means someone who doesn't believe in God. Theism means one who believes that God is the creator and God is the controller, both. This is Arthur Ashe. Arthur Ashe was a Wimbledon champion at one time, many, many years ago. You can see him holding the Wimbledon cup. Years later, Arthur Ashe was detected a terminal disease. He was about to die. So when he was in that phase of his life where he was about to die, someone came and asked him, this thought never came to you that why is it happening to you? He's going through the disease, he's about to die. Someone is asking him, it never occurred to you, why me? Arthur Ashe gave a brilliant answer. He said, every year, 50 million people start to play tennis, at least have a desire. 50 million people, out of which only 5 million people actually learn to play tennis. Out of that, 5 lakh people become professionals. They learn it really well. 50,000 people reach the circuit, out of which 5,000 people reach the Grand Slam, 50 enter into Wimbledon, 4 into semi-final, 2 into final. Only one guy holds that cup. Can you imagine? Out of 50 million people, one guy holds that cup. Arthur Ashe said, when I was holding that cup, I didn't ask God, why me? Why this cup didn't go to anyone else? So he said, I have no right to ask God now why this disease is happening to me now. So Arthur Ashe, this mindset is the mindset of theism, where you have faith that God is not only the creator, God is also the controller. When something bad is happening to us, right now we are not able to understand God's plan, but God's plan is there working. In due course of time, we will understand. So this is called theism. There is another philosophy called deism. This is many years ago, this was a book written by Harold S. Kushner. He had written this book called Why Bad Things Happen to Good People. And this became a national bestseller in America. So, Harold Kushner, he was a Christian rabbi, a Christian priest. But it so happened that in his family a big tragedy happened. He lost his faith in the church and in God. So he wrote this book trying to understand that how can God be all powerful and all merciful simultaneously? Because if God is all powerful, God has the power to remove all problems. And God is all merciful, He doesn't like to see anyone suffer. So his logic was, if God is all powerful and all merciful, He will not allow people to suffer. So he came to a conclusion that God is either all powerful or all merciful, He cannot be both. So his conclusion was, God is all merciful, but He is not all powerful. He doesn't have the power. Satan has overpowered Him. So deism, the philosophy that Harold Kushner had, this philosophy says that God is the creator, but God is not the controller. The control is gone out of God. Evil or Satan or Maya has taken over. This is the second kind of philosophy. The third kind of philosophy is called atheism. This is our good friend Charles Darwin, right? Everyone's good friend. So Charles Darwin's philosophy is the philosophy of atheism. So Charles Darwin, he came up with this book called Origins of Life. In this book, he explains that God is neither the controller nor the creator. Ultimately, everything happened from a big bang. So he removed God from the equation completely, right? So this is the philosophy of atheism, where people don't bring the idea of God at all. They feel that everything has happened by chance. So these are the three kinds of philosophies: theism, deism, atheism. There is one more philosophy called Confucianism. Most people don't know what it is. When the Titanic ship, was on its maiden voyage, the Titanic ship was advertised. Like you have these casinos, Big Daddy and all these casinos. All these casinos have a one-liner, which is their advertisement. For Titanic, what was the advertisement? Titanic, the ship that even God can't sink. That's how they advertised it. The ship that even God can't sink. And this is the best ship that can ever happen. So in those days when the Titanic was out on its first voyage, people, especially in Europe, their dream was to sail in the Titanic. So there was one family called the Clark family. This is a real story. These people were peasants, basically farmers, very poor people, but somehow they saved all their money to sail on this ship. They booked tickets for all their family members. Just 1 month before the ship was about to sail, The young boy of that family, a dog bit him, and the ship authorities told him, we can't take this guy because he may get rabies and it may spread. We can't take the child. Now, if the boy can't go, the family couldn't go. So when the ship was sailing, the entire family was cursing God. God, why did you allow that dog to bite my son? We are not able to go on the ship. This was our only desire. And finally, when they came to know that the Titanic sank, the same people started to thank God. They started to thank that dog. That if that dog didn't bite, then they would have been in the ship and they would have sank. So many times we are like completely confused. We don't know. Sometimes our understanding is atheism, sometimes theism. We are like very confused about what is the actual role of God in our life. So in today's session, we are also going to see, is God responsible for our happiness and distress? We all have our bit of happiness, distress, ups and downs. Who is responsible for it? Is God responsible for it? Are we responsible for it? Or is it that God is 50% responsible, we are 50% responsible? What is the whole idea? So today we are in day 5 of our Journey of Self-Discovery session. So we'll just do like a quick recap of what we have done till now. In day 1, what was day 1 topic? We discussed search for happiness. So in that topic, basically, we came to a conclusion that search for happiness is not wrong. But the problem is we are all searching for happiness in the wrong place. What is the wrong place? In material world, in material things. That's the problem, right? We are searching for the right thing in the wrong place. In day 2, when we discussed does God exist, we saw that there is someone up there, the Supreme Controller, God. Even though we may not be able to see Him, just by the effects of God, it's scientifically understood that there is someone who is having all the things under His control. In day 3, what we saw in day 4, we saw that that person is Krishna, that Supreme Lord. In day 4, what we saw in day 3, who am I? We discussed that we are spirit, soul, Atma. We belong to the spiritual world. Today we are in day 5. Day 5. Today we are going to discuss where am I, and more importantly, why am I here? Why am I there in the material world? If I'm supposed to be in the spiritual world, why did I land up in this place? In the Bhagavad Gita, there are 5 topics, right? Bhagavad Gita has 18 chapters, 700 shlokas, but principally it is divided into 5 themes, 5 topics of the Bhagavad Gita. This is called Paramatma, Atma, Prakriti, Kala, Karma. These are the 5 topics of Bhagavad Gita. In session 1 and in session 3, in session 2 and in session 4, what we saw yesterday, we discussed God, Paramatma. In the topic of does God exist, one God, many gods, we touched the topic of Paramatma. In session 3, when we saw the topic of who am I, we discussed Atma. We are spirit, soul. In today's session, we are going to see the other 3 topics. We are going to see Prakriti, material, spiritual world. We are going to see Kal, time, and we are going to see Karma, action, reaction. That's what we are going to see in today's topic, Prakriti, Kal, Karma. So the word Prakriti means nature, right? So there are 2 types of nature, spiritual world and the material world. So where has the soul come from and where has the soul come to? If you can see this chart, what you can see on top is called the spiritual world. Another name of the spiritual world is called Vaikunta. And what you can see down is the material world. Something interesting, the spiritual world is brightly lit. The material world is dark. In this material world, we may be very proud of too many things here, but if you remove the sun, moon and fire, this material world is a dark place. Imagine sun, moon and fire gone. You will not be able to do anything. You are literally finished. right? So whole dark place. So this is the material world. The spiritual world is called Vaikunta. Have you all heard this word, Vaikunta? You know what does Vaikunta mean? Kunta means a place of misery. We discussed that Krishna stands this world as Dukkalayam Ashashvatam. So this material world is called Kunta, a place of anxiety, misery. Spiritual world is a place where there is no anxiety, no misery, no birth, no old age, no disease, no death. Therefore it is called Vaikunta. So we all, because we are Atma, we discussed this, right? We are spirit. Because we are Atma, spiritual beings, where do we actually belong to? We all belong to the spiritual world. From the spiritual world, we have come down to the material world. We don't have too much time to discuss in this session, but in the scriptures, Bhagavatam, there is a lot of description of what the spiritual world is. Just like I told you, in the Bible, there may be a little understanding of the kingdom of God, but in our literatures, there is a detailed understanding of what is in Vaikunta. How many planets are there in Vaikunta? Unlimited number of Vaikunta lokas where people are completely free. So we all belong to that spiritual world. From there we have come to this material world. If you can see this material world, this is the picture of the material world zoomed in. You can see one Vishnu lying there. That is called Mahavishnu ya Karanodakshaya Vishnu. So when he breathes out, Mahavishnu is in Yoga Nidra. When he breathes out, from every skin pore of his, one universe comes. Brahmand. The universe is called Brahmand, shape of an egg. Each universe looks like this. Again in each universe, this is one universe. The same Vishnu comes in another form called Garbhodakshaya Vishnu. And from his navel, Brahmaji comes. And on that stalk of that lotus stem is the 14 planetary systems. That's how the material world. So this is just one universe. There are many, many universes. And all these universes put together is just 1/4 of God's creation. 3/4 is the spiritual world. So what was our original origin? We all belong to the spiritual creation. We were one time in the spiritual world having good time with God, enjoying with God. But why do we come from there to here? Because this is something very important to understand. Because the soul tried to be independent of God. I'll give you an example. In the Bible, the way the fall down of a living entity is explained from the kingdom of God to the world, to this world, is through the story of Adam and Eve. A similar understanding. So the story is like this. God created two people, Adam and Eve. This is how the Christians explain. Adam was a man, Eve was a lady. But because they were created by God, they were still in the spiritual world. In the what is the spiritual world and what is the material world? Material world is called a place of duality, dvandva. Material world means everything is in two. There is happiness, there is distress. There is day, there is night. Right? There is man, women, honor, dishonor. Everything is in a package of two. In the spiritual world, it's absolute. There is no two. So in the spiritual world, there is nothing as night. Everything is day only there. Right? And in the spiritual world, even if someone is having a body of a man and a woman, these feelings of man, women, all these feelings are not there. People are very, very innocent. Simply speaking, a simple understanding is, in the spiritual world, everyone is very innocent and pure. In the material world, as soon as you come, lot of contaminations come in. Just like rainwater, when it falls from the sky, it is very pure. But as soon as it falls on the ground, it becomes dirty. So originally, we were all in the spiritual world without lust, anger, greed, pride, envy. So when God created Adam and Eve, they were very, very pure. They didn't have any feelings of man, woman, attraction, all these things were not there. So both of them were completely naked and they didn't feel anything about it. So God told them, this is the Garden of Eden. You'll be happy here. Just don't do one thing. Don't eat this apple. There was one apple. So this apple came to be known as the forbidden apple. Now if someone, imagine this, if I give you a box and I tell you take it home, don't open it. What happens? वो कीड़ा आता है ना, क्या है? Why did Prabhuji say don't open it? Right? So Adam and God said, don't eat this apple, eat whatever you want, don't eat this apple. And God went away. After some time, Satan enters. Satan means evil, yeah, in what we call in Sanskrit as Maya, right? The deluding potency. Satan comes. And Satan tells Adam and Eve, you know why God told you don't eat that apple? Because as soon as you eat that apple, you all will become God. And God doesn't want you to become God. Therefore, He told you don't eat. Satan tells this and goes. God also gives a message and he goes. Evil Maya also gives a message and he goes. Then it is up to us what to process. Adam and Eve, this logic, what Satan said seemed very logical. The only reason God doesn't want to eat this apple is because He knows we will become God and God doesn't want us to become God. So they ate that apple. After some time, God came there to check how the children are doing. Both of them, they had taken leaves from the branches, from the trees and dressed themselves. God understood that they ate that apple. Because they ate that apple, they fell down from the spiritual world to the material world. All these emotions of opposite sex, man, women, and all these things immediately creeped in. In Bible, this is called the original sin. The first sin that starts all other sins. And what was that origin of that sin? It's called the original sin, and it is also called the original envy. Why did they eat that apple? Why did they eat it? Why did they eat it? Because they wanted to be God. That's the reason the soul falls into the material world. So why does the soul, we all were in the spiritual world, why did we come there, from there to here? Because we wanted to become God. And who is God? We saw He's the supreme enjoyer, supreme controller, supreme proprietor. As soon as the tendency came, why only God is enjoying? Why I should serve God? I also want to enjoy like Him. As soon as that thought entered, that sojourn starts. We all come to the material world. So when the soul leaves the spiritual world and comes to the material world, two things happen. First is, it forgets its original identity. And second is, it starts to identify with the body made of matter, made of skin, bones, flesh. We start to identify. We forget that and we start to identify here. So this is the reason why we come. Just imagine, there is a driver who's driving a very high-end car, a very costly car belonging to his owner. Very costly car. So now the driver also enjoys all the facilities of the car, isn't it? The owner doesn't tell the driver, AC only for me, not for you. He's also enjoying the AC. He's also enjoying everything. The owner has no problem. You enjoy, no issue. But the day driver leaves the owner in some place and takes the car and goes out on his own, immediately the owner will call the police. Catch this guy. Something has gone wrong with him. Now, all this while, the driver was driving the car. The owner never called the police. The day that independent mentality comes, he decides, I want to enjoy this car without this fellow. I want to take this car on my own. He is immediately put into a different category and the police is called. You're understanding this point? So this is the reason we come in this world, because we all want to imitate God. We want to become imitators, competitors of God. In English there is a saying, experience is the best teacher. Have you all heard this saying? Experience is the best teacher. But actually the one who wrote this saying, he wrote another sentence to it. Continuation of this. You know what it says? It says, experience is the best teacher because a fool learns by no other way. That means, if you are intelligent, you don't have to go through experience. How will you learn? By hearing. Like a child, you tell a child, don't put your hand in fire, it will burn. If the child is intelligent, he will understand, I should not put my hand in fire. But if the child feels he's stubborn, he doesn't understand it, one day he will put his hand in fire. He will experience burn, and next time he will not put. Understanding the point? So sometimes God has given us all His teachings, right? Everything is there. But because we are so stubborn, we have to go through an experience. We have to go through our suffering to understand that we have done a big mistake. And then we all take the path back to Krishna consciousness. Another example, I'll give you that example of a fire. I'll give you two more examples to understand this concept of why God creates the material world and why we come here. Like a girl, small girl, who sees her mother doing cooking in the kitchen. And the girl also comes to the mother and says, I also want to cook. So the mother knows that, Baba, cooking is not child's play. There is fire, there is knife, there is everything. But the child is adamant, I also want to cook, I also want to cook. So what the mother does, she goes to the market and buys a kitchen set and gives it to the girl. And the girl is happy that she's got a kitchen set now. In that kitchen set, there is one cooker, there's a stove, everything. Imitation of that. Everything is there. And she's happy cooking, hours and hours she spends cooking vegetables, this, that. But when she's hungry, will that kitchen set cooking help her? She'll have to actually run to the mother. So this material world is like a kitchen set for us. We saw God enjoying and we say that I also want to enjoy like you. God says, take this material world. Try your stuff there. We all try a little cooking permutations and combinations to be happy. When nothing works here, then you all run to our original mother and father to actually feed us, to nourish us. Yeah, like a boy. I give an example of a girl, like a boy who tells the father that I also want to drive car. The father knows that this guy can't drive a car. So the father will take the boy to SL world. Chalo, drive. Right? Do an imitation car drive, you'll be happy. So similarly, this world is like a kitchen set. This world is like an SL world where we try to enjoy, but slowly it dawns upon us that we really can't enjoy. There is less enjoyment, more frustration, more suffering. And then we make the journey back. So, as I told you, this material world is 1/4 of God's creation. If God's creation is 100%, 1/4 of it, 25% is the material world. Rest 75 is Vaikuntha, spiritual world. That means only a less number of portion of people are in the material world. Most of the people are liberated. Are you all getting this clear? Okay, so this is the reason why we come to this material world. Now, all of you all may have a question. We discussed in the first session that this world is Dukhalayam Ashashvatam. This world is a place of misery and very, very temporary in nature. So now this question may come to us. Why did God create a world that is filled with misery and temporariness? Why did He at all do it? What was the need to do it? Suppose you have to plan a new smart city. You have to plan right from the scratch. A new city that is like no other city. The ideal city in the entire world. What are the various amenities? What are the various things that you'll have in your city? What will you plan? You're like the main person to plan it. Whatever you say, it will be done. What are the various things you want in the city? Can you name some? Proper roads. What else? Whatever is missing in Goa, I should tell that. Proper roads. What else? Buildings, yeah.
All the facilities.
Yeah. So what are the various facilities? We want you all to brainstorm, huh? Pardon? Education, schools, colleges. Yes. What else? Shopping malls, huh? Transport. Okay. What else? Huh?
Location.
What is another ji?
Location.
Location means? Good place. Okay. You choose the city in a nice place. Okay. Good. Anything else? Finance, banks. Yes. tourism, yeah, some tourist spots where people can take good selfies. Huh? Industries, yes. Hospitals, someone said hospitals, very important. Okay, so probably you will plan some good buildings, some colleges, proper hospitals, playgrounds for entertainment, for sporting, shopping malls where people can go and shop, very important in today's society. You'll have like theaters where people can see, stadiums where people can play, roads, you'll have good bridges, and I don't know whether you'll plan it or not, we can have a discussion on it. You may also think about having a prison house. Now, if you are doing a smart city, will you have a prison house or no? Yes, no. How many of you all feel you all will definitely have it? Raise your hands. How many of you all feel that my smart city, no prison house? Raise your hands. Mataji. Mataji has a good heart. Everyone's heart is good. But then, for those who said that you will have a prison house in your smart city, why did you say so?
There will be a law and order.
Exactly. Imagine a smart city without a prison house. What will happen? Huh? Crime will increase. The criminals will be out there. The people will not be able to live life properly. So when a government makes a prison house, no government wants to do it. No government wants to invest in police and all these things. No one wants to do it. But you have to do it because there will always be a few set of people who will break laws. If you don't have this, then there will be chaos in society. There will be complete chaos. So there is something that you don't want to do, still have to do. You still have to do it in order to maintain. So management, yeah, any level of administration, you have to take certain hard decisions also. So why do you need a prison house? So that there is law and order, as someone said. And all the more, when you have a prison house and a prisoner goes in that prison house, what do you do to that prisoner? What's your aim? Why do you put a prisoner in a prison house? What's the agenda behind it?
To make him realize that he has done something.
Exactly. To make him realize that you have done a mistake and in order to rectify him. So the prison house may apparently appear to be a cruel place that the government has made. But the idea is not cruelty. The idea is compassion on the people out there and compassion on the person who's coming in, so that he realizes that next time he should not do this mistake again. That's the whole idea. Understanding the point? So it's not cruelty, it is idea is sort of compassion that that person understands that he shouldn't do this crime again. So when someone gets into a prison house, what should be the nature of a prison house? How should the prison house be? Okay, to put it another way, what is the perfection of a prison house? Think about it. What is the perfection of a prison house? Sir, is police department.
Restrictions on movement.
Restrictions on movement. What else?
Salvation. What they have to go through to understand.
Exactly. So that means perfection of a prison house is there will be pain and punishment. Understanding? Imagine if there is a prison house with Wi-Fi, 24 hours Wi-Fi, AC, first class food, you can go and choose your menu. Will the prisoner ever come out of it? Right? He will never come out. Right? You may say that this is my perfect prison, latest prison with Wi-Fi facility and all these things. But that's not a prison house. That's not a prison house. That's a hotel. Right? A prison house means purposely there has to be less facilities. You make him sleep on the floor. Right? You have to give him food that is very, very raw. You have to make him realize. Understanding it? So similarly, the nature of a prison house is pain and punishment. So why I'm telling you all this? This material world is also somewhat like a prison house. In Sanskrit, this material world is called Durga. Durga, who is the mistress of, the jail keeper of this house, this material world is called Durga. It's like a prison house. So many people have this question that why did God create a world with pain and punishment? It's done on purpose. That's not the imperfection in God's creation. That is perfection in God's creation, because this is designed to be like this. It is designed to be like this for a certain purpose, so that everyone can realize that this is not my home. I am not supposed to settle in this place. I am supposed to go back to the spiritual world where there is no more misery, there is no more anxiety. You understanding the point? In our school days, I don't know how many of you had it. When we were studying in English, we had a poem called The Pulley. We had a poem called The Pulley. And in that poem, it was explained, I don't know if it was a poem or an article, it was explained that how when God gives suffering to us, it's like God pulling us back. Right? Think about it. How many people turn to God in good times? How many people turn to God in bad times? People turn to God in good times or bad times? Bad times. There was one guy, he was staying on top of the building. And you know what he would do? Every day, he would throw sacks of grains from top to down. He would throw sacks of grains. So people understood that at this time in the day, sacks of grains are coming. So people would assemble. As soon as those grains would come, they would take and run away. He did this for 1 or 2 months. And then he was thinking, Baba, every day I'm giving so much grain, not one guy is looking on top and thanking, they're just taking and running away. So he consulted one of his friends. He said, today throw stone. So all of them were assembled. He threw one stone. Immediately people are looking on top and giving bad words. Why are you doing this? So that's the nature, our conditioning. Until something wrong goes in our life, no one literally turns to God. So the nature of the material world is that there is pain and punishment, but the mood is what? For rectification. So that we realize our mistake, we go back to the spiritual world. So what are the pains and punishment? We have already seen this in day 1. Birth, death, old age, disease. These are the pains and punishments in this world, which is not in the spiritual world. The material body goes through all these things. The spiritual body doesn't go through all these things. So this is the nature of the material world. It is meant for a certain pain and punishments. So who awards the pain and punishment? Just like you have a jailer or a prison keeper, who awards like pains and punishments. Similarly, in this material world, you have Durga Devi. She is like the superintendent. She is like the jailer of this material world. She awards punishment. And how does she award punishment? She has a trishul in her hand. Durga Devi has a trishul. What does the trishul represent, The trishul represents the other 3 problems in this world. We saw 7 problems in the first class. Birth, old age, disease, death. What were the other 3? Anyone remembers? Along with birth, old age, disease, death, we saw another 3 problems that are continuously with us. Mind and body, yes. Nothing is permanent. Yeah, that's also there.
Related problems.
No. Someone said mind and body. 3 kinds of miseries. Tritap. Anyone remembers?
Mind, faith, ego, and intelligence.
No. I think you'll have to go back to your notes properly. I think at the end we will do an online quiz for all of y'all to see how much you'll have understood. So there are 3 miseries that we discussed. No, those are good. You are coming up. It's there, but it is not there in the right place. Yeah. Those are that is the definition of the real problem. We discussed 4 problems and 3 extra problems. Remember when I gave you this example, like someone who's answering an engineering paper, he has semester exams and he has backlogs. So similarly, we have 4 main problems: birth, old age, disease, death. 3 extra. What are they? So one is called Adhyatmik Klesh. Misery is caused by one's own body and mind. Second is what? Adhibhautik Klesh. Misery is caused by other living entities. You all remember the mosquito example? And the third is Adhidaivik Klesh. Misery is caused by natural disturbance. So this is what the Trishul represents of Durga. Durga Devi, just like the jailer is constantly punishing people there, Durga Devi is constantly punishing us. You may say, where is the punishment? This is the punishment, right? Body and mind giving us problem, other people giving us problem, natural disturbances. In the north, in Delhi, there's floods everywhere. So these are the problems that Durga Devi is giving. Why is Durga Devi giving us problems? Why is she giving? She likes to give us. She loves to give suffering to others. Why is she giving?
Because we have done something.
We get some,
Something
we've
which
done
is
some
against the-
mistake.
Yeah, we have done something which is against the law. But more than that, what is now she's giving us suffering so that we realize what? Exactly. So Durga Devi is motivating us, get out of this prison. When the jailer is giving suffering, with every suffering of his, there is only one message, not two. There's only one message: go out, don't come back. That's the whole idea. So Durga Devi is telling us, get out of this place and go where? Go to the spiritual world, or back home, the original home, back with God. That's the whole idea. You see, Durga Devi and God Krishna, they have a plan together. God pulls us to Him in two ways. One is He comes and gives us instructions, like Bhagavad Gita, or He sends His messenger, take up the spiritual life serious. That's one way people get pulled. Other way people get pulled is through suffering. Both are ways in which God pulls people. One is a positive message comes, come back to me, the message of love, and the other is that same message of love in a harsh way. Get out of this place, that suffering comes. So in both ways, God is inspiring us to make that journey back home, back to Godhead. You see, in this world, you may be in a world tour, you may be going to America, Europe, hundreds of places. But ultimately, your heart is in your home only, na? You can travel for 1 month, 2 months, 3 months, but that also will be frustration. You want to go back to your home. So similarly, this material world is like a foreign place for us. We may wander here and there, but ultimately what will satisfy us is the spiritual world, our original home. So when someone comes to a prison, what is the first thing that is done? Dress is changed. Right? Like every country may have a different dress. Like in America, I think they have an orange dress. Like this. So every country may have a different dress. In Goa, years ago, we have stopped now, but we used to go to the Kolwale jail to give talks to the prisoners there. When you go to the jail to preach, one good part of the jail preaching is attendance is fixed. Public is always there because they have nothing else to do. So in Goa there's a different set of clothes that the prisoners have. So when you go to a prison, the first thing that is done is clothes are changed. Similarly, when the Atma comes to this material world, what happens? We get a material body. Getting it? See, Atma is spiritual. Now for it to interact with matter, it needs a material body. So we get a material body. Here is Sachin Tendulkar in different dresses. So similarly, material nature gives us, in the jail you may have one variety of dress, but in the material world, Prakriti gives us 84 lakh varieties of dresses. 84 lakh, different species, different costumes, right? So this figure 84 lakh, the scriptures explain the exact number in each species. So there are 9 lakh, this is a verse from a scripture, right? 9 lakh species of living entities in water. All kinds of living entities. An n number of varieties of living entities in water. 20 lakh non-moving living entities, but living entities which cannot move, like trees, plants, creepers, etc. 11 lakh varieties of insects and reptiles. We can relate to them. Probably in some lifetime we had a body like this. Yeah. Then 10 lakh species of birds. From ugly to beautiful to whatever. 30 lakh varieties of quadrupeds. Quadrupeds means 4-legged animals. different kinds of animals. And then scriptures say 4 lakh varieties of human beings. So may say, Prabhuji, how do I digest? Human being is like one species. What do you mean by 4 lakh species of human being? What it means is, when the scriptures give us an understanding 84 lakh species, it is not just necessarily to the body, it refers to consciousness. 84 lakh living entities who are at different level strata of Chetana consciousness. So even in human form, they may be everyone who's in the same human form, but there are different levels in which a human being is functioning. The basic, the worst, the last level is a human being who's in the body of a human, but his consciousness is animalistic. We saw what is animalistic consciousness, na? Eating, sleeping, mating, defending. One who's completely in this consciousness is the lowest level of a human being, and the highest is being a devata in the heavens. So in this way, there are different levels of human beings also, right from the lowest till the highest. Total 84 lakh species, 84 lakh costumes. So when we come from the spiritual world to the material world, we get one of these bodies. This material world, we told you, is like a prison, but it is interesting that it is a prison without walls. You go to a prison house, the walls are very big. Like Kolwale jail, you go, the walls are like really big. People, even if the prisoner wants to go out, he can't go out. But this material world is a unique prison. There are no walls, still no one wants to go out. No one wants to go out because everyone is so hooked on. No one wants to escape. Right? The illusion is so strong, people just don't want to go. They are happy being in this material world. So this is a prison without walls. So when someone gets into a jail, first is the dress is changed. Second is he is bound by chains or whatever, some shackles. Similarly, in this material world, when we come here, we are all bound by chains, shackles, and these are called the 3 modes of nature. Lord Krishna tells in the Gita, Devi Hesha Gunamayi Mama Maya Duratteya. Devi Hesha Gunamayi. This material Prakriti is Gunamayi. Gunamayi means made of 3 modes. What are the 3 modes? Sattva, Raja, Tama. Goodness, passion, ignorance. These are the 3 modes, invisible ropes. You may say, I don't have any ropes in my hands and legs. This is an invincible rope, but we are all bound. Goodness, passion, ignorance. Just like you can see 3 different colors here. How do you get colors? If you go to a paint shop, he will show you a chart which like thousands of colors. But when you actually choose your color, what he does, he will take one bucket, white paint, he'll put it in a machine. This machine has 3 points, red, yellow, green, 3 points. And the percentage of these 3 colors vary and n number of colors come. Similarly, these 3 modes, Sattva, Raja, Tama, goodness, passion, ignorance, in different permutation and combination gives rise to different kinds of species. Different kinds of species. And Lord Krishna in the Bhagavad Gita, 14th chapter, 16th chapter, 17th chapter, even part of 18th chapter, Lord Krishna explains these 3 modes in detail. So what are the 3 modes? I'll give you a little idea of how the 3 modes work and what they are exactly. Goodness, I told you the 3 modes are like a chain. What they are like? Hatkadi, chain. Not golden chain that we wear. Hatkadi basically, right? Shackles. Goodness is like a golden chain. Passion is like silver chain. Ignorance is like iron chain. Goodness is characterized by freedom from sin. Someone is more happy, satisfied. Goodness. Like you have animals also in 3 modes. Like a cow is in the mode of goodness. Very shant kind of animal. A tiger is in the mode of passion. And always its tongue is out and wanting to eat something, salivating continuously. So passion means unlimited desires. Attraction to the opposite sex, it's passion. Ignorance means someone who's too lazy, too sleepy, into intoxication, drugs, procrastination. This is passion. This is ignorance. So these three modes are continuously there. Now my question to you, now you are going to be bound by chain. Which chain you would prefer? Golden chain, silver chain, iron chain? आपको कौन सा हथकड़ी चाहिए? गोल्ड का हथकड़ी, सिल्वर का हथकड़ी, आयरन का हथकड़ी, लोहे का हथकड़ी? कौन सा हथकड़ी चाहिए? माता जी सिंह गोल्ड. माता जी लव्स गोल्ड. Okay, I'll ask this question in a different way. Now you have to be in a jail, ठीक है? Which jail you would prefer? A class jail, B class jail, C class jail? What jail you want? A class. The first time I'm having an audience like this. Highly advanced. Good. A class jail is better definitely than C class jail. But if someone is intelligent, he will say, Baba, I don't want jail only. Again, A class jail means what? Suppose in a A class jail, like like some politicians, by influence they may get an A class jail. They have done something wrong, but A class jail में क्या थोड़ा TV है, थोड़ा ये है, वो है, पर बाहर नहीं जा सकते. Like Corona time, you are in your house, everything is there, but you can't go out. Is it good? Can you stay lifelong like that? Frustrating. So definitely A class jail has better facilities than B and C class. But if someone is intelligent, what he will say? I don't want jail. I don't want any of the shackles at all. So what we are doing in the material world, what we are doing in the material world? We are just going from C class jail to B class jail to A class jail. We are in this material world, which is like a jail, and we are thinking, now I'm not happy because facilities कम है ना, I'm in a C class jail. A class jail जाऊँगा ना, बहुत बढ़िया होगा. इंडिया बेकार है. अमेरिका जाऊँगा ना, ग्रीन कार्ड मिलेगा ना, बहुत फर्स्ट क्लास हो जाएगा. This is what we are thinking. Understanding the point? But wherever you go, it is a jail only. Facilities may be more or less, but you will suffer only ultimately. So intelligence is to get out of this jail. Mukti, go to a free place, not a bound place. We all like freedom, no one likes bondage. To go to a free place is actually real intelligence. So, like ignorance is characterized by madness, laziness, intoxication, sleep. There is food also in the three modes. Like food in the mode of goodness is something that is fresh, nutritious, grown from the farm. Food in the mode of passion is Krishna. These are verses from the Gita. It's not verses, not things that we are showing up here. Food that Lord Krishna says, food that is nourishing, satisfying. It's all food in the mode of goodness. Food in the mode of passion is anything that is too spicy, too pungent, too sour. Any extremes is passion. And food in the mode of ignorance is something that is stale, rotten, decomposed, like that, food in the mode of ignorance. Similarly, you have music in three modes. Flute, which mode this is in? Goodness. As soon as you hear flute music, how do you feel? Peaceful. As soon as you hear this music, rock music, blaring noise coming out of the speaker, people will get admitted to the hospital. Heart attack will come there only, right? One step away from a heart attack, right? Mode of passion increases your desires, increases your passion, right? And food in the mode of music in the mode of ignorance is something that is, combined with intoxication and things like that. So these are just few examples, but there is everything in three modes. Like time of the day is in three modes. Early morning hours, which mode it is in? Goodness. The day is in passion. The night is in ignorance, meant to sleep. Animals are in three modes. Everything practically is in three modes. So in this way, we saw material world, Prakriti. Prakriti is what? We saw in this material world, there is punishment. What is the punishment? Birth, old age, disease, death, plus three misery. Adhyatmik, Adhibhautik, Adhidevik Klesh. Why is the punishment there? For purification. For rectification. Purification of what? Lust, anger, pride, greed, envy, all the anarthas that we have, so that we get rid of it, we realize our mistake. As soon as we come to the material world, we get a different costume. which is like the 84 lakh species. And we are bound by 3 chains, which are like 3 modes of nature. Till here, is it clear? Anyone has any questions, any comments? You all can try to process it. Anyone has any questions, any comments? Okay, can we continue? So this was Prakriti, material world, spiritual world. Basically we saw why we came from the spiritual world to the material world, why this place has suffering and all that. Now the next topic out of the 5 topics in the Bhagavad Gita is the topic of Kala. Kala means time. We have all seen that, na? Mahabharata original serials, not latest, I don't know what is that latest, original serials. So you will see the chakra, main Kal hu, right? Time is like constantly on. It doesn't wait for anyone, keeps going on and on. So time is a very powerful force. Krishna, when Lord Krishna shows the universal form, Virat Roop, to Arjuna, Arjuna becomes very scared. Because till now Arjuna was thinking Krishna is my friend, this, that. Suddenly Krishna assumed that huge form, ferocious, very scary form. Arjuna got very scared. And Arjuna is asking Krishna, my dear Krishna, who are you? I thought you are like my friend and this, that. Who are you now? Lord Krishna says, Kalosmi Bharatashrabha. I am time. So Krishna, another form of God is time, Kal. And Kal is the most powerful force, the ultimate killer. In the sense that there may be very powerful people who have come and gone, but no one stays here eternally. Everyone becomes names in history. Ravan, Kumbhakarna, Duryodhan, all these people, Hiranyakashipu, in their times they were like the biggest people. Now they are just mere names in history, wiped out by time. So anyone and everyone is wiped out by time. In Chinese, they have a saying. They say that at the end of a chess game, at the end of a chess game, both the king and the pawn go in the same box. Understand? Chess game ho gaya, band karo, sabko udhar hi sulao, box ke andar. So you may be thinking I am a king and someone may think I am a soldier. At the end, sabka hari bol, sab so jao. Right? So this is the world. We may be very proud, I am this, I am that. At the end, the winner is time. So time is the ultimate force, the ultimate killer. So time works in a cyclic way. The modern understanding of time is linear, but our Vedic understanding of time is cyclic. I'll give you an example. We have morning, afternoon, evening, night. After that, what we have? Again morning. It goes in a cycle. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, then again Monday. It keeps going in a cycle. Similarly, in the universe, there is a time which says Satya Yuga, Treta Yuga, Dwapar Yuga, Kali Yuga, and after Kali Yuga what? Again Satya Yuga. It keeps going in a cycle. This is called the universal time. It keeps functioning like this. So what is the time duration of each of these yugas? Just to give you all a little idea of how much God has to manage and what's this material world. Kali Yuga that we are living in now, the duration of Kali Yuga is 4,32,000 years, out of which only 5,000 years are done. More 4,27,000 years to go. Dwapar Yuga is double of Kali Yuga, which is over 8,64,000. Treta Yuga is 3 times Kali Yuga, 12,96,000. Satya Yuga is 4 times Kali Yuga, 17,28,000. So this whole thing, Satya, Treta, Dwapar, Kali, makes one Chatur Yuga or one Divya Yuga, which is 43,20,000 years. Right? And how long the universe lasts? The scriptures explain 43,20,000 years is one Divya Yuga. So 1,000 such Divya Yugas make 12 hours of Lord Brahma. You multiply by 2, it is 1 day of Brahma. Multiply that by 30 is 1 month of Brahma. Multiply by that 12 is 1 year of Brahma. Multiply that by 100 is 1 lifetime of Brahma. That is the duration of 1 universe. After which Mahavishnu takes a breathe in, he breathes in and the universes go in his body. And again there is creation. So this is how the cycle happens. So it keeps going on in a cycle like this. There is creation, there is devastation, again there is creation, devastation, it keeps going on. So time is cyclic. Even in this world, time causes 6 transformation. What is 6 transformation? There is birth. Anything in this world is born. Then there is growth. Then there is maintenance. Then there is reproduction. Then the body dwindles. And then there is death. Like a flower. Anything in this world. A flower, there's bud stage, it slowly blooms, fully blown, slowly dwindles, and then dies away. So these are the 6 transformations in this world. But in the spiritual world, this transformation applies only to the body. In the spiritual world, there is no transformation. Lord Krishna defines the spiritual world as a place where there is no birth, no old age, and eternal place. So this is time in this world which causes transformation. Okay, now, just like we saw morning, afternoon, evening, night, and then morning. Now, birth, we saw the 6 phases now. Birth, growth, maintenance, reproduction, dwindling, death. And after death, what is there? Again birth. Punarapi jananam, punarapi maranam, punarapi janare jatreshayam. You are born, you die, and again you are born. Lord Krishna tells in the Gita, Jatasya dhruvo mrityu dhruvam janma mritasya cha. For one who is born, death is sure. And for one who dies, birth is sure until you take up spiritual life. So the idea of spiritual life is you want to cut rid of the cycle of birth and death. Otherwise, you are in an eternal loop. You are recycled again and again in different forms. Like you have recycled bottles, na? Today it's in this shape, tomorrow it's in that shape. We just keep getting recycled again and again. So time is like a great gambler. We are sitting right next to all these casinos. You know, people who create this gambling dens, casinos, they are not like compassionate guys who feel that let people win and take money. Why they are doing it? They are doing it to earn money. Right? They are not doing here to make money for you. They are not even bothered about you. So the way gambling dens function is, once you go, they will give you a kick of winning. You will win once. Then next time you will be hooked on, you will put more. You will win again. Finally, they will only win and you will come out bankrupt. Understanding it? So time is like a great gambler. It will give you a feeling, I'm winning, I have overpowered time. Finally, one blow, you are finished. And everything goes back to God only. So God is like a great gambler. So this was a little about time. We can speak more also. But now we will get into the important topic for today. The law of karma. So someone may have this question, why are some people born strong, some weak, some are beautiful, some are ugly, some get the best of education, some don't even have basic needs, some are fair, some are dark, some stay in a mansion and some stay in a hut. Some are born to rich parents. Ambani's house, probably everyone might have prayed, God, even if I have to take birth next time, please let it be in Ambani's house. I don't mind coming back. Okay. So some people are born to rich parents, some are born to poor parents. So the question is, why is God so partial and cruel? Why this disparity? Someone is there, someone is here, someone is like this, someone is like that. Why is God so cruel? Does God not have a heart? So the way you answer this and the understanding is, the same judge awards someone rigorous imprisonment the judge will say, put this guy to jail for 10 years. And the next hearing, the judge may say, this guy, he should be given 20 lakhs. So now the question is, why is the judge avoiding different judgments? Is he partial? Is he like, he hates that guy, that's why he's put him in jail, and this guy, is his favorite, that's why he's giving him money. Is the judge partial? No. Based on the activities of the individual, the judge gives different judgments according to the law. What the judge does is, he hears the activities, what all has happened, and he has a law book in front. He just matches both. He hears this case, he sees the laws, he matches both and gives a judgment. That's all his duty is. Understanding the point? So the judge has no favorites. He doesn't like anyone, he doesn't hate anyone. He is just doing his role based on the activities and the laws. Similarly, Lord Krishna tells in the Gita, this is the 9th chapter, 29th verse. Lord Krishna says, Samoham sarvabhuteshu namedveshu stinapriya. Lord Krishna says, Samoham sarvabhuteshu. I see everyone equally. Namedveshu stinapriya. Dvesha means envy. I don't hate anyone and I don't like anyone. I have no favorites, I have no hates. I just see as the Paramatma. We discussed this, that one of the feature of God is Paramatma, who is there in everyone's heart. And what is the Paramatma doing? He is continuously watching everyone's activities. So Paramatma is like a constant CCTV camera. Doesn't go off. Whatever we say, whatever we think, whatever we do, whatever we speak, everything is recorded. And based on our activities and based on the laws of karma, a judgment is given. We are given a, whatever it may be, we may call it a happiness, we may call it a distress. That is our labels, whatever label you give it. But that's how the law of karma works. So what is the definition of the law of karma? So before we get into the definition, we'll again just do a quick recap of what we have been discussing the last 5 days. Who am I? Who am I? मैं कौन हूँ? एटलीस्ट ये क्लास में तो बोलना है, बाहर जाके आप कुछ भी बोलो. One of our devotees was giving a example. Imagine you are answering in a school paper. A child is answering a school paper. And in the school paper, the question is, who are you? And the child says, I am Atma, I am spirit. What do you think? How much marks he'll get? 0. That's the problem in modern education. If the child says, I am doctor, I am engineer, I am man, woman, full marks. But if you say, I am spirit, 0 marks. Yeah, but here it is opposite. Who am I? I am spirit. Aham Brahmasmi, I am spirit. Where are we? Where are we now? We are in the material world. ठीक है ना? Anyone in the spiritual world? We'll tell you how to get there. We are in the material world now. What situation we are in? Suffering, yeah. But here we are in a material body right now. What are we bound by? This you all should answer. What are we bound by?
Desires.
No, you're not hearing. We just like 10 minutes ago. What are we bound by? Exactly. 3 modes. ठीक है? We are reprogramming all of you all. Relearning. Who is controlling us? Time. We are watched by time. Who is controlling us? Time. Who is watching us? The Paramatma is constantly watching us. ठीक है? Till here, you all are with us. So now what is the definition of the law of karma? Activities performed by the soul in the material body, conditioned by the 3 modes of material nature, under the control and purview of time. I'll make you understand this whole thing. Activities performed by the soul, Atma. Because this mobile cannot perform any activities. This is dead. Activities is performed by the soul. But where? In the material world, in the material body. Karma is not in the spiritual world. Just like I often give this example, when you sit in a rickshaw, as soon as you sit in the rickshaw, what will the rickshaw guy do? Yeah, ask where you're going, and then before that also he will start the meter. He will start the meter. Everything gets calibrated there, right? Similarly, as soon as the soul steps out of the material, spiritual world and enters into the material world, the karma meter starts. From that point, everything is calculated. Every thought, word, deed of every life is getting calibrated continuously. The karma meter is continuously on. So activities performed by the soul in the material world, in the material body, under the conditioned by the three modes, because we are all in one sense controlled by the three modes, under the control and purview of time. This is called the definition of the law of karma. Getting the point? Activities by the soul in the world under time and the three modes. In simple words, law of karma is Newton's third law. For every action, there is an equal and opposite reaction. Or just like Jesus Christ said, as you sow, so shall you reap. Matlab, if you have sown a neem seed, don't expect a mango. You're going to get a neem fruit only. Right? If you have sown a mango, you will get a mango. So it depends on what you have sown, the same thing you will reap. You may have put a seed 20 years ago and gone, forgotten. But if a mango has come out, that means you put mango only. That is not going to change. Right? You may have forgotten it, but the same thing will come out. So as you sow, so shall you reap. So if you are reaping something now, is because we have sown something in the past. And what we sow now, we will reap in the future also. So this one chart will explain to you free will and destiny. Now many people feel that जो होगा वही होगा, भाग्य में लिखा है ना, जो होगा होगा, हमारे हाथ में कुछ भी नहीं है, nothing is in our hand. But that's not the complete understanding. We have something called free will. We have something called free will, and we are the ones who make our destiny. Destiny is created by us. We are the makers of our own destiny, depending on how we exercise our free will. I'll explain you this chart in just 2 minutes. You will understand how this whole thing works. See, right now we are in a certain environment, a certain situation, a certain body, a certain environment. And this environment has a certain influence on us. More of passion, less of goodness, whatever, we have a certain influence. And there is a three modes controlling us constantly: goodness, passion, ignorance. But even with that environment and three modes, we always have a free will. A situation may force us in a certain direction, but still that free will is with us, that pause button is with us. We can choose whether to succumb or not. And depending on how we use that free will, once we choose a response, the reaction is destiny. Like I'll tell you, someone may be standing on the building, top of the building, and he may think, should I jump or not jump? Kudun ki nahi kudun? Soch raha hoga. So you have a choice. You decide, Baba, what you want to do. But after you jump, you don't have choice. कूद लिया, बाद में कुछ कर नहीं सकते, जो होगा होगा. So you have a point in which you can choose your response. Once you choose your response, the result is destiny. And that destiny reaction further strengthens that environment we are in. Right? So that means definitely there is destiny, but we also have a free will because of which we can change destiny. If everything is predestined, then there's no need to have these classes and discuss Bhagavad Gita. The whole idea is something is predestined, but the nature of it can be changed depending on what we choose now. In English they say we are neither losers nor winners, we are only choosers. We can choose what we want to do. So how does the law of karma work? I'll tell you. There are three doers. Lord Krishna in the Gita he explains this concept, 18th chapter. There are three doers: Atma, Prakriti, Paramatma. When all three come together, only an activity is done. I'll give you two examples which will make you understand. Now, after the lecture, after this class, you want to go to Miramar beach. You go down and there's a rickshaw guy. You would sit in that rickshaw and you tell him Miramar beach. That fellow will take you to Miramar beach. And after going there, he will tell you 100 rupees. Now, if you tell the guy, why I should give you 100? You also enjoyed the ride, no? तूने भी मजा लिया. मैं क्यों दूँ तुमको पैसा? That fellow will say, I didn't want to start the vehicle only. I was happy being there. I started the vehicle because of your desire. So you have to pay. Getting the point? So now for you to go from here to Miramar, three people are involved. Three things. One is you, one is the driver, other is the rickshaw. If one of them is missing, you will not reach. Getting it? You are there, but the rickshaw and driver is not there, you are not going to reach. Right? You are there, the rickshaw is there, driver is not there, you are not going to reach. So all three are needed. But who's responsible? It is you, because you desired. That is what made the driver and rickshaw move. Similarly, we are that spirit soul. The only thing that we can do is desire. And the Supreme Lord is like the driver who fulfills our desire. And Prakriti is like that rickshaw that takes us from one place to another. But ultimately the responsibility lies on us. You have a lot of people who say, मैंने ये गलत कार्य किया, भगवान ने मुझे प्रेरणा दिया. You have a lot of people who will tell you, भगवान ने मुझे प्रेरणा दिया, इसको जाके मारने के लिए मैंने मार दिया. Right? भगवान ऐसा प्रेरणा नहीं देते. Krishna doesn't do it. You are responsible, right, for the choices that we make. Another example, you go to a restaurant and you order 100 things. You order 100 things and the waiter and the cook, they prepare everything and give you. And you eat it and then you're walking out. The cashier will say, Baba, give money. Give money, you have to give money. And you have to give because the cook and the waiter, they didn't want to do it. They did it for you. So you only have to pay for it. So we are like that customer and God is like that cashier. And we have to pay everything through the currency of karma. Every desire that we have, just like you go to a restaurant and order XYZ, ultimately you will get a bill. And you have to have the money to pay the bill. So similarly in this world, you have to pay everything through the currency of karma. Any big desire, more karma you have to spend. So that's how the three doers concept is. So what are the different kinds of karma? So there are three kinds of karma. One is called good karma. Good karma means good activities. Some example of good activities is like helping someone, giving someone water, giving someone medicine, giving someone food, planting trees, creating water sources, these are good karma. So when you do good activities, what will you get? What will you get in return? When you do good things, good activities, what you will get in return? Good result. Like scriptures say, if you give people water, you will never have water shortage in your life. If you teach someone, if you educate someone, you will be very knowledgeable, or you'll be born in a knowledgeable family like that. Right? So when you do good karma, when you do good activities, what you get? Good results. Good results means you will get a better body, healthier body, or the best kind of result is you will go to the heavens, Swarga. Punya. So anyone who does good punya, he goes to heaven. But what is the problem in heavens? We discussed, I think, yesterday or the day before. What is the problem in heavens? Exactly. Heavens is a long life, good life, but still it has an end. Basically, heaven is like A-class jail. This world is like B-class jail. Naraka is like C-class jail. Heaven is like A-class jail. But it is a jail only. Wahan pe bhi death is there for sure. Okay. So now when you do bad karma, vikarma, kill someone or do any of these wrong things. So generally in scriptures, there are 4 kind of things that are considered vikarma, bad karma. One is meat eating, other is gambling, third is intoxication, illicit sex. So when you do this bad karma, one is in this life itself you may suffer, or worse come worse, you may go to the hellish realms where there is lot of suffering. Hellish, you may go in the lower species, a lot of suffering. So good karma will give you good result. Bad karma, vikarma will give you bad result. So we introduce two terms. Karma, vikarma. You all have to remember this, huh? Tomorrow I will ask you all. Karma means good activities. Vikarma means bad activities. There is a third term called akarma. This is called neutral activities. Akarma is a very important topic. In tomorrow's session, we will discuss in detail about akarma. What is akarma? We will discuss tomorrow. So basically, we saw three kinds of karma. Karma, good activities. Vikarma, bad activities. Akarma is neutral activities. What is the duration of results of karma? Like now you do some activity. When you will get result? Two kinds. One is instant. Instant karma. Like you have ATM, no? You put your card, you get money immediately. Other is delayed karma. Like you deposit a check or something. It takes 1 or 2 days to clear it. Some example of instant karma is you put mustard seed. In a couple of weeks you may get the crop. You put a coconut seed. It will take years for the crop to come. Getting the point? This is like delayed karma. You slap someone, that fellow will slap you there only, finished. Karma gone. Khatam. Someone may go and murder someone, and it may take years for that person to get caught, and then court case, and later he may get punished. This is like delayed karma. A classic example of delayed karma, we all know Mahabharata, a little about Mahabharata, right? Dhritarashtra, he had 100 sons, Kauravas, and all of them died in the war. After the whole war of Kurukshetra, when Lord Krishna came to Dhritarashtra had a question. Because he knows Krishna is God. And Krishna knows everything. So he asked Krishna, what did I do wrong that before my death, all my 100 sons are died? Generally, healthy lifestyle, a healthy way of living is the father dies first and then the son dies. But here the father is alive, all the 100 sons dead. So Dhritarashtra asking, what did I do wrong that all my 100 sons have been killed and I had to see all this, I have to endure all this? Lord Krishna said, 50 lifetimes ago, you were a king, that time also. And you went for a hunting excursion. And there was a nest. There was a male bird, a female bird, and 100 baby birds. You killed all the 100 birds and you made that male bird blind. The result is now you are born blind and all your 100 children are dead. That karma has come now. So Dhritarashtra said, I did that 50 lifetimes ago. Why didn't I suffer that time only? Next lifetime, why I had to wait 50 lifetimes? So Lord Krishna said, to get one son, you need lot of punya. 50 lifetimes you were accumulating punya. So in this lifetime, you got 100 sons. And that karma came now. So Dhritarashtra's head started to reel. He understood that Krishna's role is not easy. Right? To manage all this karma for so many people, it's not at all easy, it's mind-boggling. So this is an example of delayed karma. The law of karma works on whom? It works on an individual, like someone may meet with an accident and he may die, or anything may happen to an individual, or it may happen in a collective way, collective karma. Everyone is on the same flight and a tragedy happens. It's called collective karma. So it sometimes happens individually, sometimes happens in a collective way. More features on the law of karma. Someone who says, if I don't know the law of karma, then what? I really don't know how it works, then what? The answer is, ignorance is not an excuse. Simple. If a child is very, very innocent and the child puts its hand in fire, will the fire burn the hand of the child or not? It will definitely burn. Right? So similarly in this world, ignorance is not an excuse. We are there in this world, we have to know. Like someone who is traveling in a local train, Bombay local train, what are the rules in a Bombay local train? If you have a ticket of second class, you are supposed to get into second class. If you get into first class ticket compartment, you will get fined. You try it. Once it happened to me years ago, in initial days when I was traveling in Bombay. I mean, I saw the empty bogie was first class, and I was thinking these fools are climbing into second class. I got into first class, and the TC caught royally. I took like long time to convince him, tell him that first time I come to Bombay. So the idea is if you are traveling in local train, you are supposed to know the rules. Similarly, we are there in this material world, we are supposed to know how the law of karma works, because whether you know it or not, it's going to work for sure. Does good and bad karma nullify each other? मतलब मैंने 7 अच्छा कर्म किया है और 4 थोड़ा गड़बड़ कर दिया है, रिजल्ट क्या होगा? रिजल्ट इज फॉर योर 7 गुड कर्मा यू विल गेट 7 गुड रिएक्शंस, and for your 4 bad karma you will suffer 4 bad reactions. So they don't minus each other. समझ आ रहा है? ऐसा नहीं कि you'll have all these underworld guys who will on one end do all their nonsense and other end give some charity here and there, think that ये karma यहाँ पे wipe up हो गया. It doesn't happen like that. For a charity you may get some good karma, but for all this nonsense you will have to suffer also. So good and bad don't nullify each other. Just like if you have planted 7 mango seeds and 3 neem seeds, result is going to be 3 mango trees. No, you'll have 7 mango trees and 3 neem trees. Both will come independently. They don't cancel each other. So in conclusion, why do bad things happen to good people? Why do they happen? In places where they do big scale farming, like here you can see like massive scale farming, they have something called a silo or a storage of grains. So what they do is, any harvest that comes, any grain harvest, they put the grains from top, ऊपर से डालते हैं ये chamber में, and down there is a tap to open the grains. Now imagine if someone has done a harvest, you can see this machine harvesting. So after doing the harvest, very good quality grains, the grains are put on top. When the tap is opened down, bad quality's grain comes. And someone may think, Arey, I did good quality harvest, why did this grain come? Because last year you put bad quality grains. Last year our harvest was not good. That is still in stock. That is coming out now. Now what you have put will come out eventually. So when people ask, why do bad things happen to good people? Means what? Right now you are doing good. But what about all the gadbad that you did before? You may not remember, but it has happened at some time. So that is coming now. And what good you are doing now, uska bhi time aayega. In English there is a saying, the mills of God may grind slowly, but they grind exceedingly fine. या हिंदी में, भगवान के घर में देर है पर अंधेर नहीं. It may take time, but eventually it will come. So in essence, some of the questions that we answered now. How does the law of karma work? The soul desires, the material world executes, and Paramatma is like the judge. What are the different kinds of karma? Karma, vikarma, akarma. What is the duration of result? Instant, delayed. The law of karma works on whom? Collectively, individually. If I don't know the law of karma, will it still work? Definitely it will work. Ignorance is not an excuse. Does good and bad karma nullify each other? No. We have to suffer and enjoy. We have to enjoy the good reactions and suffer the bad reactions separately. Why do bad things happen to good people? People suffer for their past actions. Today is Friday, 8:41 p.m. ठीक है? Last Friday, 8:41 p.m. What you all were doing? Anyone remembers? Last Friday, 8:41 p.m. What you all were doing? We don't remember now. So we don't even remember what we did yesterday, 1 week before. How do we remember what we did in a previous lifetime? So when people feel that, "Arey, why is this happening to me?" What do you know what you have done? Right? We don't even remember what happened yesterday, day before, 1 week ago, 2 months ago. We forget it. So we may have done something in a previous lifetime. We may have, you know, very easily, casually forgotten it, but it's all getting stored and accounted. Right? The systems are pakka in God's place. The law of karma works perfectly. The systems in this world, they may be an error. Like, bank, this, that, they may be an error, maintenance. But the laws of God are perfect. So in conclusion, till now we discussed the law of karma. What should we do now? Now that we have realized that, Baba, I have had many lifetimes. I don't know what mess I've done in my previous lifetimes. No idea what is in store, how much karma is there. What should we do now? So the answer is, human life is like a train junction. You know what's a train junction? Train junction is a place where there are trains of different directions coming. Like you're taken a train from Goa and you're going to Bombay. And suddenly you decide that I don't want to go to Bombay, I want to go to Delhi. You have to wait for a train junction to come. In that train junction, you can get down from this train and get a train to Delhi and go in that train. So human life is like the train junction. In a train junction, there are trains to different directions. You have many, many options. So human life, there are many, many choices we can make. We discussed that animals cannot make choices. We can make choices. So what are the various choices we have? If we want, we can come back as a human being. If we want, we can go to the lower species. We can become an animal. We can go to heavens. We can go to Naraka. We can do anything. But if you are highly intelligent, what we will do? We will go back to the spiritual world. We will take that Vaikunta Golok Express, that train that goes back to the spiritual world. Life is a preparation and death is the final examination. So this life is preparation, meant for us to prepare for that final examination so that we can pass farewell and do farewell to this world and go back to the spiritual world. That's the purpose. So how do you prepare and what is akarma? How do you practice spiritual life on a daily basis? We are going to discuss in tomorrow's session, a very important session. Whatever theory we have discussed now, tomorrow is the practical part of it. How do you apply all this knowledge in our day-to-day life? What changes we have to bring so that we can actually just not understand the Gita but live the Gita? How do you live a life based on Bhagavad Gita? We will discuss tomorrow. Okay, so in summary, today we discussed Prakriti, material nature, why we come here and the nature of this material world, a place of suffering. We discussed Kal and we discussed Karma. Thank you very much. Anyone has any questions, any comments in today's session? No questions. The younger generations, you'll have any questions? Anyone has any questions, any comments? Like looks like everyone is like fully convinced.
Still processing.
Either understood everything or understood nothing. Sure, you have understood everything, but you all can take time to process. So therefore, the videos are there, the notes are there. So you may have to go through it once again, but if you go through it, it's like concepts are quite simple. As I told you in Who Am I class, spiritual life is like common sense. It's common sense. If you're like, it's simple, it's not at all complicated. Just hear it once again, you'll be clear. Yes.
Lord Ram killed Ravana. So will that be counted as a good karma or bad karma? I'm very curious to know this.
Good. Thank you for that question. Lord Ram killed Ravana. Is it good karma, bad karma? First is, karma doesn't apply to Lord Ram. That's the first answer. Because he is that Supreme Lord. He is the one who's created the system. Like Mukesh Ambani, in his, I don't know why I'm going to Mukesh Ambani again and again. So, whatever, or whatever, Elon Musk, whoever you call it, right? A big businessman, owner of a place, he may have like parking lots for his employees. But does he have to park in a parking lot? He can park his car anywhere. Who's the one who's going to question him? It's his company, right? So similarly, the law of karma is made by God, Ram, Krishna. These are the Supreme Lord who made it. So it doesn't apply to them at all. So first of all, that question doesn't work to Lord Ram. He's the one who's created it. Second answer is, Lord Ram didn't want to kill Ravan also. If you study Ramayana, some other time we can have a discussion on Ramayana in detail. Lord Ram gave Ravan many opportunities. Before the war also, he sent Sugriva once, he sent Angad once, and he told Ravan, now also, you have done all the nonsense, you have kidnapped my wife, you have done everything, still I will forgive you. Just give my wife back. Ravan didn't listen. So whether it is Ram or Lord Krishna in the Kurukshetra war, similarly you see in Lord Krishna, he didn't want the war to happen of Kurukshetra. He tried so many times, he sent so many people to try to educate Duryodhan, forget this, let's not fight, let's just compromise. But Ravan and Duryodhan, names are different but mentality is same. Both were very adamant. Said, we don't care. So then the only option was to eliminate him. Just like if a cancer tumor is growing in your body, cutting that tumor, is it good or bad? It's good. You have to do it. Because otherwise it will spread. So elements like Ravana, who are like tumor in society, have to be cut. That's the role of the Supreme Lord or the agents, the Kshatriyas, that's their role. So that's good karma. Arjuna, in the Bhagavad Gita, initially, he was telling Krishna, I don't want to fight. Because Arjuna was thinking, non-violence is good karma. Lord Krishna said, that is good for a Brahmana. You are a Kshatriya, you are supposed to fight and remove these elements out. If you don't do your duty, then you are doing bad karma. You have to do this. So what is good, what is bad, the more you understand scriptures, you will become more clear. Okay? Anyone has any other question? One last question before we end for today. Okay. So let's still processing it. Yeah.
One question. It is out of the syllabus.
No problem.
But it is said by these pandits and all, the moment someone dies, it takes 1 year for the Atma to recover. Is it a fact?
It's not 1 year, it's number of days. The period of your Shraddha, basically.
First year Shraddha, in the time first year Shraddha is Atma is in the traveling phase. That's what pandits say.
No, not first year. It's just a few days, 20-21 days period. That's it. After that, your annual Shraddha is so that wherever that person is, he can get some benefit. If he's in a suffering state, some benefit he can get so that he can get out of that suffering state. That's the idea. But you'll find more details in the Garud Puran. There's a Puran called Garud Puran which explains exactly after death, first day what happens, second day what happens, how is the journey that the person goes through. Okay, so I think we'll stop here. Thank you very much. I hope it didn't go too much above your head, but you all can take your time to process it. No hurry. Videos are there, notes are there. But do come for tomorrow's session, whether you have understood today or not. Please come for tomorrow's session because tomorrow's session is going to be the most important session. I always tell that even if you have not, I assume you have understood everything all these 5 days. But even if you have not understood anything, still come for tomorrow's session. If you understand tomorrow's session, you have understood everything. So please don't miss on tomorrow's session. Please do come. We'll have some discussion and we'll teach you all some practical things that you all can practice also. And then in tomorrow's session, we will also discuss about what's the future of this program, how do you all get connected and all that. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna. Srila Prabhupada ki Jai.